What up, Coach Colin Castello here with ShotMechanics Basketball, and I'm here today with Kings guard Garrett Temple, and today we're going to talk about shooting mechanics and what works best for him and maybe what will work best for you. Today's video was made possible by our guys over at Arbit. Arbit's a unique social networking app that allows you to vote in real time on polls from your favorite creators. So download the app from the link in the description, then follow me at ShotMechanics to vote on my polls and let me know what sort of videos you want to see. And to make it even better, you can run your own polls and connect with the Arbit community as well. All right, I'll see you there. All right, so today what I want to do is I want to talk to Garrett and I want to kind of figure out exactly what mechanics work best for him. And then thus, I want you to think about your own jump shot and see if they'll work good for you. So Garrett, as we kind of start, working with a jump shot, I always like to think about the foundation first, or your feet in the base. So as let's go off of a catch situation. So if you catch the ball off of a pass, what's kind of the first thing that you're thinking about with your feet?
Well, first of all, it depends on if I'm moving or if it's a spot up. If I'm moving, I usually do a 1-2 step. I think I want to get my feet in the direction of where the goal is. If I'm coming off a pin down or if I'm coming off a flare, I want to make sure my feet are facing my target. Perfect. And I get 1-2 down. On a spot up, catch and shoot, I actually change it, and I'm usually on a quick hop. I'm a quick hop guy on a spot up, just so I can get my balance right. So it's two different things for two different shots. Love it, love it.
And that's something that I always like to preach with pretty much all the athletes we work with, is that your footwork's probably going to change, right? There's a lot of argument that goes on between, are you a hop guy, are you a 1-2 guy, but really game of basketball is so dynamic, you're never going to be in one situation every time.
Exactly.
So that totally makes sense. So as we move away from kind of the footwork and we move into kind of the catching, or what I call the approach, as you're bringing the ball up through your shot, as far as your hand placement goes, let's talk about your shooting hand. Where do you like to put that?
I like to put my shooting hand. I'm a guy that likes to get to the seams. Some people can shoot right when they catch it. Mm-hmm. I'm a guy that likes to catch and get the ball in the seams right here. I like my index finger. I'm more of a middle finger guy. I like my middle finger a little to the right of the middle, and the pointer finger right to the left side of that.
Perfect.
So basically my middle finger is almost in the middle of the ball, and I like my left hand right on the left side, obviously holding it out there. Again, you don't have to get your the laces, whatever's more comfortable, but if you do want laces, you want to practice then people passing you the ball without the laces, so you can get the quickness of the change, because
100%.
that's big. You don't want to take 3 seconds getting into the laces. You're not gonna get your shot off.
For sure. And one thing I've noticed about your jump shot is you're really good at catching the ball and maneuvering it in your hand as you're loading into your shot. And so that's something that a lot of young athletes might be a little bit too high of a skill for them to do, but as they kind of work and develop, they can kind of get that shift as they can get to the lace and get that nice snap on their release.
Exactly. You got to practice that. Practice picking it up from a dribble or catching it at different spots. When you go shoot and just practice shooting, you don't want the ball to always be right exactly where you're going to catch it. You want people to pass the ball high, pass it low, so you can bring it to the pocket and then get into your shooting motion.
Love it. Absolutely, absolutely. So we kind of talked about your foundation. We talked about kind of your approach up through and your hand placement and everything. So now let's talk about kind of, the last thing that's going to guide the ball, and that's your release. So you talked a little bit about you were a middle finger release shooter, but let's talk about maybe, on that release, what are a couple main keys that you're trying to think about?
Well, on the release, first of all, I'm trying to, obviously, it's a cliche, but keep my elbow in. Mm-hmm. And when I put it up, I want the ball to be going exactly where I'm looking. So, some people say you want your elbow higher than your ear and all this type of stuff. I personally like it a little further out so I can see my release. Different people have different things. I'm a guy that looks at the rim. Some people look at the basket. Some people look at the ball. So I look at the rim, I let it go, and I obviously want this window. My window is right here. So I'm technically a left eye shooter, because the ball is my hand is in my right eye. I'm a left eye shooter, and I'm just right here making sure I release it. Every time I see a picture of me releasing the ball, it's the same every time, and that's what I want.
Love it. And the thing that you notice about Garrett's jump shot too is that he's got phenomenal alignment when it comes to his shooting shoulder, his shooting elbow, and his shooting hip, right? If we can keep that in a straight line, it's going to eliminate your left to right misses, and thus you're going to shoot a higher percentage right away. And that's one of the things that keeps him really accurate, whether he's shooting off of pin downs, curls, pull-ups with the basketball. He's got a bunch of different options. So, great stuff today, Garrett. Much appreciated for coming out and talking to us. Again, remember with that footwork, everybody's going to be a little bit different, but it's about finding what works best for you And just like Garrett, I highly recommend that you try a little bit of everything out depending on the situation. All right, thank you so much for watching. Also, go ahead and follow Garrett on Instagram. We'll link him up right down here. Follow him, that way you can follow his professional journey and see what's going on over there. Also, thanks to our friends over at Arbit, where you can vote on all sorts of different stuff. I'm over there at ShotMechanics. You can follow me. I got some really cool polls running. So much appreciated. Thanks as always for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. This is a channel for the people, by the people. I'll see you next time.
ShotMechanics.